I started reading High Rise Invasion after a recommendation from a friend, and I was sold after I was told there was some Yuri elements. You can get me to look at anything if you tell me there are lesbians in it. Well, as far as I can tell, my friend is a damn liar. I need to be real with you. I dropped this manga at 32 chapters in out of boredom and mild disappointment. I cranked out a 2-minute long script reviewing it, and I was in the process of collecting panels for the video when I decided to check out the final chapter of the manga. Then I started reading it backwards. This is a stupid thing I like to do with novels where I flip to the very end of the book and read the final page, paragraph, or sentence. I don't believe one can entirely discern the quality of a narrative by its conclusion, but I like to get the impression of a story's ending because I believe it can communicate something to me about the story or the author. This is a vibe check. I have no internal metrics or criteria for measuring or deciding whether something passes or fails this check. Somewhere in this process, I am trying to parse out the soul of a piece and find if I can resonate with it. High Rise Invasion did not pass. It did, however, fail in such a confusing way to me that I was urged to go back and look over the 32 chapters I had read prior. On my initial reading of High Rise Invasion, my first impression was, wow, 2013 was a different time. Looking over High Rise Invasion again, I can say that impression still holds up at present. You know what doesn't hold up at present? 2013. This manga feels dated stylistically and narratively. It oozes with this late 2000s to 2010s era edge fest energy a la Mirai Nikki. So if you like Mirai Nikki, you might like High Rise Invasion. I thought Mirai Nikki was okay, and High Rise Invasion just feels like a less engaging Mirai Nikki. I feel that High Rise Invasion relies too much on shock value and edginess to draw readers in, but my degeneracy and depravity has been sorely underestimated, so this really doesn't do anything for me, and it comes off as tasteless and trite. Because I wasn't engaged by this, I had skimmed over much of the first 32 chapters, only really stopping to ogle at this sexy maid woman because that was the only thing that could keep my attention. These early chapters are a sort of survival horror, but having read the final chapters, it looks to have transformed into a battle manga with kooky-ass reality-bending god powers. High Rise Invasion has got all sorts of stupid ideas. There's these masked angels, god candidates, God lives inside a QR code, the most advanced technology of 2013, the setting itself. All these things seem interesting to me on premise, but am I really going to read over 200 chapters to see if I get anything out of it? I already read a little over 32 of them and didn't. The most I got out of High Rise Invasion was the setting. This setting is an aesthetic, a never-ending high-rise cityscape connected only by suspension bridges. That, to me, is a vibe. I actually find this concept somewhat relatable because I have also dreamt up highly specific and niche fictional setting ideas to tell stories in. In the first 32 chapters, though, there's pretty much nothing done with this setting other than to crank up the edge by having people kill themselves. This small connection is probably the only thing I will get out of High Rise Invasion. I'm really not optimistic, especially since I didn't find any Yuri when reading the final chapters. So, if you don't mind, I'm going back to reading Sulemio fanfics.